Hello there, my lovely darklings. It's your fave witch, Shamila Anahata, back with another video. And today we're going to be talking all things seduction. So a lot of the time people think that seduction is about something sexual or something manipulative, and trust me, it can be in the hands of the wrong person. But really, seduction is trying to get what you want in a consensual way that usually has to do with allure, drawing in, pulling in, and that always comes from your energy no matter what. So the definition of seduction is a noun, and it is usually described as persuading someone to have sex or taking away someone's innocence, debauching, corruption, betting, tumbling, dishonoring, ruin, ravishment, defloration. That's a little too much. Once again, that is in the hands of someone who is intentionally trying to do wrongdoing. And another words that also have to do with that on the opposite side, it's temptation, attraction, lure, allure, call, pull, draw, charm, bait, decoy, magnet, appeal, attractiveness, fascination, interest, glamour, and the list goes on and on. Actually, that's what I like to hear. That's what I think seduction is, and that's how I like to use it. And that doesn't mean that I'm trying to do things against people's will, like trying to make people do things that make them feel uncomfortable. On the contrary, this is something that I know that somebody else, a willing person, would want to do simply because they want to be in my presence or they want to see me happy. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. So I would say that there are quite a few ways to use seduction to your advantage in a way that isn't harmful or manipulative or negative. And let's say that there are 4 ways to do that. And I would like to start with seducing with your eyes. And there's just a way to look at somebody when you're trying to say something, when you're trying to convey something, that you can communicate that very, very much so with your eyes. And there is nothing more attractive, in my opinion, than somebody's eyes, because they're not only just the window to your soul, but it just shows that you're listening, it shows that you're present, it shows that you're just really involved with somebody when they're in your presence. So what I would like to say for me personally, what I like to do with my eyes is I'll smize. Tyra Banks actually was the one who I think coined the term smizing. Maybe somebody else did, but when she did America's Next Top Model a long time ago, we all know we saw that. She talked about how when you are taking photos, you're trying to be really expressive with your eyes, and that is so, so true. So you're not just like looking at someone dead in their eyes, you know? That type of communication is really, really important. You're being involved, so you're staring them deep into their eyes. And when you smize and you're smiling with your eyes, you're not just wanting to like have your face just straight on. You're probably gonna want to tilt your head down a little bit, just so like you're at a slant and you're looking down and then you look up. So what I like to do is do that, and it's like very intense eye contact. And it's not just while I'm talking to somebody. This could be while I'm walking, while I'm doing a menial task, not only just in public, but even at home, because you got to practice at home. But it's just a way for you to have your eyes look a little bit more alluring, a little bit more mysterious. Just looking up, looking down, looking up, having your face at your chin down at an angle. And that just kind of makes it look like you're almost not flirtatious, but you're not in the act of suggesting as well. But it almost shows that you're just enjoying yourself. Because to me, it's not that one is trying to be attractive when doing something like that. It's basically just letting someone know you're involved with what they're saying, and you're almost being playful. And that's what I like to think about when it comes to seduction. It is so playful. It doesn't have to be inherently sexual or lewd in order for it to be a certain type of activity. So yeah, once again, smizing, and it's like your eyes are really expressive. You can even tilt your head up a little bit, just making sure that your face is at an angle so that wherever you're looking, it's just more intense. And another way to lure someone in or to draw someone in, call them in to do your bidding, good things of course, consensual things of course, is using your voice. So it doesn't matter what you sound like, it doesn't matter if you have a high voice, low voice, crackly voice, smooth voice, we can all work on our voice. If you have the ability to do that, definitely do so. There are tons of videos on YouTube, not only just about the eyes, but the voice as well, that you can learn to perfect those types of things. What I like to do with my voice is to make sure that I'm not too monotone. I don't know if it comes from me being really gothy or any type of thing like that, but it's easy for me to sound monotonous in a lot of the ways that I speak. So I just try to make sure that I'm paying attention to my timbre, making sure that I'm inflecting, accenting, or adding some sort of sensuality to my voice. And I want it to sound as smooth, sensual, slow, soft as I can do it. Because once again, if you're not paying attention to how you're speaking, you can sound really nervous, you can sound really high energy, you can sound really excited and over anxious. And that can make the person that you're trying to seduce or just anybody really uncomfortable. And you want people to be calm and relaxed in your presence. So your voice can do that in any type of way. So a way I would use my voice to seduce is, once again, to be smooth, soft, slow, sensual, all the S's really. There's just so many ways you can be seductive with it. And what you really want to do in your own way, with your own voice, with what you have, you want it to be music to somebody's ears. You want to make sure that somebody leaves your presence, or just while they're listening to you, you want them to be soothed. You want them to just feel really comfortable. And once again, in your own way, make it almost as if you're singing. That sounds really ridiculous, but I thought about that the other week, how I don't necessarily sound like I'm singing, but if you think about it, it sounds like I can probably sing, right? So make it seem that way. Make it seem that your voice is an instrument. Make it music to their ears. And another way to possibly seduce somebody is with your embodiment. So that doesn't necessarily mean just faking it till you make it, even though technically you can kind of see it that way. But when you embody the energy of somebody who just has it all, knows what they want, knows who they are, has very high self-esteem, feels very great about themselves, and don't have a lot of resistance to what is in life, you want to be around them. You want to see what they're like. You want to experience them. You want to be in their presence. And because of that, because you appreciate them and you appreciate what they bring to the table, you probably want to do something for them. And that doesn't mean moving mountains or doing things that make you uncomfortable. You probably want to pick up the check, or you probably want to send them a meme, or you probably want to send them a link to your favorite store, anything like that. And we all know we've had people like that in our lives, where we appreciated their presence so much so that we wanted to do things for them or give them things. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Give and allow them to receive. And people who are usually in their seductive energy are excellent at receiving. So why not give them what they want? And what I like to embody when I'm in my seductive mode is just embodying goddess energy. That sounds so overdone and probably very cliche to a lot of people, but think about it. People want to serve goddesses. People want to not only be in their presence, but they want to protect them. They want to provide for them. They want to be a container for them to be in their goddessness. So when you're embodying your goddess, god, or divine energy, people can't help to want to be around you and want to soak it up in hopefully a healthy way. And when you are in that energy, it is inspiring and motivating people to be in that energy as well. Because there is nothing more empowering than not only being around an empowered person, but to know that you're divine, and to know that there are things much bigger than you, and to know that everything's okay, and then to know that you can trust everything that happens to you, and to know that you're going to be able to get everything you desire. Because realistically, as I always like to say, your desires desire you. And people who are in their divine god or goddess energy know that. They know that when they are in their seductive energy, when they are in their goddess energy, when they are being divine, everything can come to them. They can attract anything and anyone. So the most seductive people on earth walk in that truth. And it is just not only just mysterious and enigmatic and enticing, but it is very alluring in a sexual way in a lot of ways. It doesn't have to be, but it really, really is, because you do want to merge energies with people like that, physically and mentally and spiritually. So when you embody something and when you embody energies like that, you are not just trying to fake it till you make it. You're not going to try to just act like it. There are a lot of inner processes that you need to work on, not only to get to that place, but the best way to embody that type of energy without feeling like you're faking it or feeling like you are not walking in it correctly is to figure out what limiting beliefs that you have about yourself, because those things really do create roadblocks to your path to abundance. And once again, abundance is in air, abundance is abundant. There is no cutting off from that. You're going to receive what you want regardless. However, if you're not of the mind that abundance is abundant and that you have a lot of limiting beliefs that keep you from getting to your goals, your desires, you're not even going to be able to receive it, because all of your limiting beliefs are a lens to everything that you see in your reality. So if you don't believe that you're worthy or deserving of certain things, or you don't believe that these things are going to be able to come to you, everything you see from your perspective is going to reflect that, which means you're not going to be able to receive it very well. So yes, like I always like to say, you got to do your inner work, you got to do your shadow work in order to understand what's going on within you, so that you're able to go out there and be authentic and do you and do everything that you want to do. Because there are tons of roadblocks in people's path when it comes to marginalization, oppression, just all those types of things. But there are just ways to work around it as well. And although I'm not going to say that it's easy and it's going to be different for everyone, and I cannot speak to every situation because there's no one size fits all type situation, I like to believe that anything is possible, everything is possible, and that we got to do what we got to do with what we have. So the process might not be easy, it might be tough, it might be long, but it's absolutely worth it to have the life that you desire. And you are worth it. You are deserving of it all. So yes, when you're embodying your God, goddess, or divine energy, you're just allowing divinity or the universe or whatever you like to believe, source, just to work through you. Just to go out there and do what you feel like doing, being authentic with it, not asking for people's approval, just going out there, not even asking for people's permission. You're just going out there doing what you feel. And there is nothing on earth that is more empowering than that. People love to be around people who are in their authentic and divine energy, because it rubs off on them and it makes them feel empowered as well. So if you want to be seductive, if you want to lure people in, if you want to draw people in, be in your goddess, God, or divine energy. It'll always serve you. And although there are several other things I would say that someone can do to be seductive, I would say it's also your walk. Your walk is so important. When you walk with confidence and you have your shoulders rolled back and down, when you are walking one foot in front of the other, especially if you have heels on or something like that, when you're just walking with confidence, spine straight, tailbone tucked in, basically when you are doing mountain pose when it comes to yoga, you're just in alignment physically, spiritually, and mentally when you're walking with confidence. So yes, definitely do what you can do to walk in a way that shows that, look, I'm here, I'm in the room, and I'm not apologizing to anybody. And to be honest, that goes a lot into embodiment. But walk is so, so important, because when you don't have confidence in that, and when you don't have confidence in anything, a lot of people can't take you seriously. And even though they should, because everyone is deserving of being taken seriously, how you feel about yourself sometimes determines how other people are going to treat you. And although it is not right for someone to mistreat someone who is not confident or just doesn't feel really great about themselves, that is just something that happens, because how you feel within is usually a lot of what people give back to you, what the universe gives back to you. So really analyze your confidence, how you feel about yourself, your self-concept, all those types of things within. so that it can exude through your pores, it can exude through your energy, and people have no choice but to take you seriously and want to be in your presence and do what you want them to do naturally. And the last but not final thing I would like to say about seduction today, I'm probably going to do another video about this, but I would say it's to be in tune with who you are, be in tune with self, and that somewhat goes into goddess, god, or divine energy, but not really. That's another thing. I would say being in tune with who you are, just knowing yourself, knowing what you like, what you desire, what you don't like, what you want to do with your life, what your hobbies are, what your favorite colors are, about your sexuality, about what you like to dress like, about what your favorite music is, about what your favorite foods are. All those types of things might sound very menial and like whatever, that's just somebody's personality. And when somebody really knows themselves and are really just understanding about who they are and what their personalities are in a very authentic and unapologetic but still attractive way, they're just so desirable because they know that they're valuable, because they know that what they're bringing to the table is just as great as what somebody else would or what you would. And in a lot of ways, that's just being very authentic, being very genuine. And of course, we need to know our flaws too. We need to know what to say to what person and what not to say to what person. When you're aware of what your triggers are, what your tics are, what makes you upset, what things you do not like, what your sexuality is, how you like to be pleased, what you don't like to do when you're in that intimate activity, all those types of things make somebody so alluring. You just want to know more. You almost want some of that body intelligence, some of that intelligence of who they are, some of that self-awareness to rub off on you, because once again, they're very unapologetic about it. And you want to know what program they did, what type of inner work they did, what kind of course they took in order to get to that place. Because that is not easy, being a human and being that self-aware. And being self-aware is not only just rare, but it's absolutely attractive because it's almost as if you know what to expect from that person, but not at the same time. So they're always a mystery, but still being upfront about who they are. And speaking of being in tune with who you are, being self-aware, being present in who you are, knowing your likes and your dislikes, knowing your desires, your dreams, your goals, all those types of things. I would also like to say being in tune with your sexuality. I mentioned that previously, very briefly. But once again, seduction is not just about sex. That is something that has just been tossed around. I can't even really tell you the history about it since I'm not that educated about it. But when I first heard of the word seduction, and when you even hear it, it just sounds very inherently sexual. And there is kind of a sexiness around that word in general, just how it sounds. But really, still, learn about what you like. Learn about how you like to please yourself, how you like to be pleasured from other people, your partners. All those types of things really do help because you don't have to disclose these things to people, especially when it's not appropriate, because we really don't have to. That is something that can be locked away and kept private for as long as we need to. However, when you just know what you like, when you're being intimate with yourself and with other people, with your partners or your partner, that exudes once again through your pores. That just shows. It shows in your movements, it shows through your walk, it shows through your voice, it shows through your eyes. When you just know yourself in that way, which a lot of people are not aware with, never mind talking about being self-aware of your personality, your tics, your past, your fears, your limited beliefs, your self-concept. But when it comes to sexuality, even when you're just straight and when you're, with something that's widely accepted in the world, a lot of people do not know themselves. They do not know what they like. They do not know how they like to be pleased. They don't even know how to touch themselves properly or bring themselves to an orgasm properly. And even though that's not always the goal, it's just the experience and just being in tune with self when it comes to that. Because like having sex and being intimate in that way is not just you receiving pleasure, but just you being in tune with the universe, really. But that is just such a huge advantage because you are really in your pleasure. You are in your joy. And joy comes from hobbies, family, friends, like just everything that you can experience that's positive and uplifting in the world. But when you can pleasure yourself and when you know how you like to be pleasured, oh my God, no one can tell you anything. So definitely make sure that you are in tune with what you like when it comes to your intimate part of your life. Because it really, really does matter. And it exudes through your pores. And when you're seducing somebody, you don't have to even use that part of yourself. But once again, you just emit that. You emit that energy where people are not going to want to have sex with you or want to be intimate with you in that way. That's not how seduction works, and that's not really the energy I'm assuming you're trying to put out. But if you are, no shade on that. Do what you got to do in a healthy way, of course. But that almost kind of is like the cherry on top of your seductive energy or whatever you're trying to get. And that can go into being flirtatious. But you don't want to go into hardcore flirting where you're being inappropriate in that way. You still want it to just emit through your body language, your movements, and all those types of things. So that's just an unnecessary but probably necessary tip on another way that somebody can be seductive. Because when someone can see that you are in tune with your pleasure or that you're just sexy, it's really just easier to get what you want. And you don't even have to show anything. You don't have to show your body. You don't have to do anything lewd. You don't have to be crude. You don't have to even say anything that can be inherently sexual. It is just in your being. It is just not even just who you are, but it's just a part of you that makes you more magnetic, makes you more attractive, makes people want to just be around you and see what you're like and experience you. And that's really what seduction is all about. It is just, once again, going back to what I said previously, just embodying the energy, having the movements down, having your voice down, having your body language down, and your eyes, and even your presentation, your hygiene, how you take care of yourself, your personal health and well-being, mind, body, and spirit. All those types of things create a big, great energy that makes people have no choice but to want to consensually do your bidding. So don't be scared to be seductive, y'all. Don't feed into the whole, oh, it's manipulative, it's evil, it's dark. Maybe, if that's what you want to do, please don't. However, what I'm trying to say is that it can be done in a very nice, consensual way. It can be done in a way that serves you and the person involved. It does not have to be that way. So do what you gotta do and make it natural, make it you. You don't have to fake anything, you have to embody it. We've now reached the end of this video. Let me know your thoughts. Did you know anything about seduction prior to this video? Is there anything I missed? Let me know in the comments down below, and be sure to give this video a like, subscribe for more content, and follow me on Instagram at the Soulful Veganista. Much love, and until next time, my lovely darklings. Bye-bye.